Well, it's been a while. So it's been about like what 4 months since I've decided to make a video, and apologize. I do apologize in advance. Before this video does start, really quick, I do apologize for a couple things. First of all, it's been gone for so long. Secondly, uh, this is a new format for me, so this whole camera thing is new to me, and I probably look like an idiot and sound like an idiot. But and plus this camera's terrible, but it's the only thing I've got, and I'm gonna try something different. So this is gonna be a video about my thoughts and I would say, yeah, thoughts and opinions on the Baofeng, and then especially a story that on TikTok a couple months ago. It was back in July when I was posting these videos about the UV9G and how I had some problems with it. So um, and again, before we do get started really quick, I am hopefully going to be back doing this format to see how people like it. I don't know if people even like it. I mean, I don't blame you if you do, but I just want to see what's different and try something new. Try and make it funny or more entertaining because usually my voice is like, so monotone. So I'm going to try to make it better. We'll see how that goes. So, but we're going to get into it first with Baofeng. Now, again, a lot of you probably already know what Baofeng is, and it's basically a company, a Chinese or Japanese company. And don't fact check me because I have no idea, or you can. It's up to you. I really don't know. Um, that make basically cheaper end radios like these, which this one is a RD5R, which is a Baofeng with DMR. That's it. And Baofeng has had troubled history with the FCC. Again, I couldn't tell you what that was just because I didn't really look it up. But there have been a few people. Um, this thing is so rude, always interrupting. I'm just kidding. Anyway, um, Baofeng is known for their cheap crap, and again, they've been in trouble with the FCC, and then some people are even saying that Um, these things have what they call spurious RF, where if I transmit on a certain frequency that's displayed on here, it could be going to other frequencies. Which is that true? I don't know. Again, I've heard so many things online, and it's even crazy to think that even just saying the word Baofeng is going to strike a nerve with somebody, and it makes them really upset. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they're bored, they have nothing else better to do. I'm just being honest. I have bones to pick with Baofeng specifically on the UV9G just because of my situation, but other than that, I've had no problem. And I think partially it's because we are held to a high standard with our radios, because obviously you're spending tons of money. At least that's what I think. It could be different for other people, but when you hold yourself high to a standard where you have something like this or something like this, this you can't compare anything to this. It's impossible. I mean, comparing this to this, forget about it. I mean, seriously. Really? I mean, seriously. Think about it. It's a nice radio, by the way. I recommend Motorola XTS units. If you can't afford an Apex, APX, which a lot of us can't, including myself, um, yeah, I've got a few things that I want to do on this channel and on TikTok. And just a side note, really quick, is definitely reviewing an APX and an SDS 100. Hopefully that's coming maybe in the next, like, if I'm still on YouTube in the next 2 years, that's probably when it's going to happen. But on that note, what I was saying is that yeah, you can't compare. It's very hard to compare Baofeng to anything higher caliber, to like Unication, whatever, even Uniden. But we're talking a lot of people use these as scanners. Even some people use them for ham radio, which is really the only thing they're allowed to be used for because it's illegal. Again, which it is illegal per the FCC, but again, in all honesty, and this is just me, I've not heard of the SEC going after somebody for transmitting on one of these. Now, if you're intentionally jamming police departments or whatever, then yeah, you're going to get in trouble. But if you're transmitting on GMRS, which I have done before, I've done it on this radio and I've done it on this one, which I know some people may not like that, but I do have an LMR license, Part 90. I think it's Part 90 to use this. Obviously not on GMRS, but I can still use it on Part 90. And the thing is, though, there are tons of people out there that do this. I know at least 90% of the GMRS, and I'm not throwing these guys under the bus. They're awesome. I'm just trying to make a point that 90% of these users that I've talked to use a Motorola or some sort of Part 90 radio that's LMR. So I do want to get into uh, before I get into the UV9G and what the heck had happened. It's an interesting story that but I got to set some ground things really quick, and that is if you're gonna buy one of these, and again, I'm not trying to persuade you or anything, is don't set your standards high. If you set your standards high, you're gonna flop. Like it's gonna flop dead because that again, if you set your standards to something you're used to like this, or again something like this, not gonna compare to this. Personally, if I were you, if you're gonna buy something that's cheap, be prepared to have your standards lowered. This cannot compete. Let's be real here. Is this a good alternative? Absolutely. I have this in a backup situation. If I'm in an emergency and I can't use this, I'm going to use this because I can't use my pager. I just can't. So personally, in my opinion, anytime you buy a Baofeng product, you need to take your expectations and lower them. That's my opinion on it. And personally, if you're going to lower your expectations, drop them to the floor. Like literally drop them to the floor because again, we have so many great options out there that you're going to be sad. I mean, seriously. And I had a UV5R before. That was my first radio, and this actually was my first receiver I ever had. Was an RTL SDR dongle, and again, my first physical radio was a UV5R, and this one was my second, this RD5R. So this thing has outlasted all of my radios. I mean, I've had this thing since I was in college, and it was like 18, so it's like 4 years old, and it still holds strong. I mean, the battery, it's kind of hard to see, but the battery doesn't really hold very well. But again, it's all good. It does its job. So I do want to get in. So since I've kind of talked about Baofeng, and one last thing I will say about Baofeng is you get what you pay for. If you're not paying for much, you're not going to get much. That's just my opinion on it. Again, I'm not trying to persuade you one way or another. I'm just giving you my experience and my opinions on Baofeng. Now, the story on TikTok. I'm gonna set some backstory and explain the situation. So I was in Arizona for business for two months basically, and I didn't bring a radio. Why I didn't bring a radio, I have no idea. I was just being stupid, I guess. So I had some extra spare cash in the bank. It was like 30, $40. Again, that's how much the UV9G is. And I was craving a new radio. I'm like, I want something new. And I knew it was Baofeng, so I wasn't gonna expect much. And in the GMR, and this is UV9G is a GMRS radio, and as me having some experience with GMRS, having that experience in GMRS, I have tried a couple of GMRS radios, including the Retevis and the UV9G. Most of my operations on GMRS is coming out of here, just because I want a good excuse to use it. Anyway, so the Retevis is cool. I mean, I gave it to my girlfriend to use because it just wasn't that fun. Retevis is good. I don't. They're okay. Um, but then the UV9G came along, and I said, let's buy it. What's the worst that could happen? So I purchased it from Amazon, had it shipped to the hotel, and after a long day of work, I came back and got it set up, and I was super excited. So much, in fact, that I actually made a TikTok, which I will show right now.
All right, we got the new UV9G. Well, it's not new. I just bought it out here in Phoenix. Gonna do some. We're gonna do a connection off a repeater off that mountain right there on one of the GMRS repeaters. So let's give it a shot. WRQK967 on channel. Yep, came in perfect.
And I just made a couple repeaters, put a couple repeaters GMRS. Heck, I even put in, because it can monitor. It will only transmit in the GMRS band unless you do some little sneaky things with it. But if you want to monitor anything VHF or UHF analog, you can do that. So I plugged in Arizona State Police, which shockingly actually surprised me. That was they were still analog UHF. So I plugged them in, and I also did the pager frequency for Phoenix Fire, and I had a good time with that, and for a short time. So a couple days passed, and in the back of my mind, I was thinking, okay, well, if you see here, what's plastered on the Amazon link is waterproof, saying that something, that not this exact one, this is an RD5R, the you probably saw from the video just I showed a minute ago, is that that one's bulkier than this, but something like this is waterproof. I'm thinking for $40, darn, that's actually pretty good. Like for $40, I get waterproof too. Sign me up. That's why the reason why I bought the Rays. I wanted to test it out. So I didn't get it on camera just because I wasn't thinking at the time. And again, I'm really new to the social media and like trying to do stuff. I mean, the amount of followers I have on TikTok, which I can't tell you what that is, that's whole new for me. So I'm still learning how to seize the opportunity to film. So what I did was is I threw it under a test just for me, and I turned the shower on and I put it directly up to the shower head, kind of like like this, like with it facing up, and oh, I almost fell. And it the speaker was muffled, but that was it. I mean, honestly, that was the worst that happened. I let it dry out for about 30 minutes, and it was fine. Well, I wanted to try a second experiment. That was to straight up, dunk it in the water, and that battery almost fell off. That's funny. Almost dropped it straight in the water. And I said, you know what? I'll do it because the radio was cheapish. It was like $40. I know some people $40 is a lot compared to a UV5R, but it hurt me what I was going to do. I was planning to do it, and it hurt me to do because, again, I have these very nice radios that are valued around. I don't know, this one's valued around, I would say $200, and this one is valued in its condition at least at 300. So, I mean, personally, it hurt me to even think about dunking a radio in water. Even this this was actually more expensive than the UV9G. So it just hurts my soul to dunk things, even if you're allowed to. Like I know the APX is water resistant. I think it's actually IP rated. And yeah, it is IP rated. Now that I think about it, like I wouldn't dunk an APX in water. I'm sorry. Like I know you could do that, but why would I do that? I just spent a couple $1,000s on eBay for it. That's just my opinion. But anyway, so I take it down to the pool, and I sit by, every pool has these like little slope down steps. So I get to the second slope down step, and I just kind of, you know, I can't see it, but I just sat down like this. And I'm leaving it there for. This thing does not want to stand. This thing, I think it knows I'm talking crap about the whole thing. So anyway, So I set it down about 30 seconds. I pull it out. Audio's muffled. It starts acting funky. Like I don't remember exactly what it was because it was a while back, but it was starting to act weird. Like it just, I knew it wasn't normal. You know how Baofeng acts, and it just wasn't acting normal. So I turn it off, remove the battery, kind of like dry it out, and then I put the battery back in, and nothing. Completely dead. Doesn't work. I'm sitting there like, oh great, well that was stupid. It wasn't the fact that I wasted money. It was the fact that I kind of had this expectation, like I just said earlier. In my opinion, you really shouldn't have high expectations of Baofeng. If they say it can do something, don't count on it working. So, and I kind of took the risk knowing that it may not work, and I thought for sure that it was going to work because again, this was the first Baofeng product I had bought since 2019, or sorry, 2018, and I actually really liked it. I had a lot of fun using it. I mean, it was simple. It was a Baofeng. It's as simple as it can get, but it was nice. I actually had fun using it, and it was a decent unit. I actually enjoyed it better than the UV5R or any of the other Baofeng products I've had. So I had fun with it. I really did. But it was just it sucked. It really did. And come to find out, and then come to find out it was screwed up. I actually posted a video on TikTok. This is the video in question I was talking about.
Alright, so I wanted to make a quick video on this. I feel like an idiot for even trying this, but apparently this thing, I wanted to try the IP67 waterproof rating, and all it left me was a waterlocked radio. So this is a really good radio. I had a lot of fun with it, but I feel kind of stupid for even trying this in the first place. So if you buy one of these, just treat it like any other non-waterproof radio, and don't start dunking it into like glasses or something, because I wanted to try it and see if it worked, and all it did was this. So it doesn't really work anymore. So you can see all the condensation right there. So yeah, don't try the waterproof feature. It's not a really good idea, but just thought I would make this video. I feel stupid for even doing what I did, but I thought I'd let you guys know if you're like me and just want to try it out, and this is what you get, a broken radio.
In that video, I kept, it was like this project. It was like this need inside me. I had to fix this radio. So I tried everything. And the reason why, again, I don't have it with me is because when I left Phoenix, I think it was in like September, like late to mid-September, I threw it away. I'm like, I don't want to deal with it right now. This is stupid. I'm not taking this carcass home to work on it when I have better radios at home, better radios over here at home that I've shown like two or three times. So, usually Baofeng overall, again, I don't have a problem with Baofeng just because I have my expectations lowered. A lot of people say, that these are crap, they don't work, they suck. That's fair. I would agree with you to some degree, but the only thing is I think people's expectations are too high. Again, if you set your expectations too high, you're gonna hurt yourself. Again, this would be, if I bought one of these, I'd be like, oh, it's gonna be just as good as this. Again, that's why you do your research, and that's maybe why you're coming on this video. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is that if you're going to buy a Baofeng, if you hear the word Baofeng, if you hear that word, think cheap, think bare minimum. You get what you pay for, because that's what you're going to get. So on that note, I want to thank you for stopping by. If this is something you guys want to see, I can do this about other things, because I could probably think of 5 different other topics I can just sit here and talk about, radios like SDRs, Motorola, Harris. I don't have a Harris radio. Which, how does that work? I don't know. I have some stories and, just thoughts and opinions on certain things. If you all want to hear it, let me know. or maybe the 5 people that watch this video. I'm gonna still do it anyway, but yeah, let me know if you have any video ideas for me, because I want to come back to YouTube really bad, and I kept saying I would, and I put it off until now, so I'm gonna do it. So yeah, if you guys and gals have any ideas for me, let me know down there in the comments, and appreciate you stopping by.